It's time for York County Conversations, your weekly dive into the people and businesses shaping our community. With the Sanford Springvale Chamber of Commerce, we're proud to share stories behind the storefronts and the voices behind York County's growth. Together, we're building a stronger local economy, one conversation at a time. This is York County Conversations.
So, Carrie, everybody says it's potato. But do you know anybody that actually has ever said potato?
I've never heard anyone say potato.
What about you, Chris?
Never heard potato.
Me neither.
No.
So, have you heard anybody say tomato?
I was just going to say, what about tomato?
I've heard tomato.
By who?
I've heard tomato. Like,
are they an American citizen?
Now, this is the debate that my younger one has with us, is amados. Is it amados or amados? because of the same thing, because it's like the T is off. So is it amato?
So in Italian, is it tomato?
I think it's tomat.
Because that's where amados come from.
I think it's tomat.
It's tomat.
In
tomat.
Italian, yeah.
So
are you Italian?
No, but I...
Okay.
No, I took French for a long time.
I watched The Sopranos once.
No. That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Once you did know the, what do they call them? Like the Latin languages, it's kind of pretty transferable.
That's amazing. No, to me, it's amazing that people always call it tomato, but I don't know anybody that's called it tomato. But then you bring amados into the conversation.
Right? So we're probably all saying
never
wrong,
thought about that.
We're all wrong.
So language class is not what you stumbled into this morning. It's actually York County Conversations. I'm your host, Andy Austin, from York County's Morning Show. My co-host is Carrie Quater from the Sanford Springvale Chamber of Commerce, President and Executive Director. And, you bring in people week in, week out, and this one's going to be full of laughter, I think, because who do we have this week?
Today we have Chris Caswell, who is the somewhat new, but we'll say owner of Mikini Custom Designs, is what you're calling it, I believe, down at the Sanford Traffic Circle. And he's going to tell us about his journey to owning the store now.
Well, it's quite the journey, isn't it? I mean, you didn't grow up with this background. What was the last thing that you were involved in?
So the last thing I was involved in, not self-employed, was the Sanford Springvale YMCA, where I was the facilities director for 8 years. But previous to that, I had, straight out of high school, I was a self-employed guy. Like, I always wanted to work for myself. That's what I envisioned myself doing. And I had owned and bought and sold multiple businesses prior to...
What was your first one that you did right out of school?
Right out of school, I owned a commercial cleaning company, and I did that for 10 years.
Wow.
Yep.
A lot of commercial clients that do stuff like overnight type
yeah,
things.
Yeah, a lot of a lot of that. A lot of big corporate stuff.
Yeah.
So you slept during the day.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I slept sometimes.
Yeah. Because you were raising a family too.
Yeah. Dad of 3 daughters. That's a crazy journey in and of itself, right? Nobody prepares you for that.
You imagined yourself owning businesses, but did you imagine yourself with 3 daughters?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I loved every minute of it. Absolute journey, like every minute of it.
Don't plan too much because life will tell you what you need.
It does, 100%.
And those daughters had something to do with you taking over Mikini. Can you expand on that?
Yeah. So, after being at the Y for so long here in town, I got the itch to want to work for myself again, but I didn't. In conversations with my wife, I didn't want to be far away from home again, in the self-employment, end of it. And I had looked around town, looked locally at some different businesses and some different options, and just stumbled across Mikini, and it worked out to be the perfect fit for myself and my family. So
it's nice to see the local businesses being bought and continued by other people. We've had Springvale Hardware, Shaw's Hardware, Mikini now, and it's from people that are truly invested in continuing, the legacy of these businesses. That's a lot of change in 1.5 years, 2 years,
It is.
And it's interesting to me because I'm not that type of entrepreneur where I go out and buy businesses. I did marketing on the side when my kids were young, but it wasn't something where I was owning a storefront, So I think it's interesting to know that there are people out there that are looking for those challenges and want to kind of dive into something that they're kind of familiar with, but it's still new to them, and they have that passion.
Oh, it's definitely new to me.
Yeah.
It was a business that I'd never in a million years would have thought Mikini was my fit, right?
But why? What made you go, you know what? Yes.
Because I grew up. I'm a local guy. I grew up in Alfred. I've been a local guy my whole life. I live in the same house I grew up in.
No way, really?
Yeah, that local, right? And for me, like, just Mikini's the fit because I spent so many years doing different trades and being in and around it, and I also coach collegiate softball. So I'm big into athletics and community and all that. And at Mikini, I get the best of both worlds, right? So
Right.
I get to deal with, all the contractors and businesses that come in for their apparel and their needs, right? But I also get to deal with the high schools and the different sports organizations. So it's the best of both worlds. So it ended up being a great fit for me and my family.
I like that people could go in and get some gear to support Sanford schools and other local schools too. I saw in there, but also a business could come in and say, we want polos, we want vests, we need some hats or something like that, and put in an order. And do you help them design, give them ideas for designs and whatnot?
Yeah, we do the full. We pride ourselves in not just like taking a current logo and putting it on a shirt,
Yeah.
right? We can do full rebrands. We've just done it for a few local businesses. So
Nice.
we're working on one right now for SG Concrete, which is going to be really cool when that logo comes out. Check those shirts out when you see those.
Nice.
Shout out Steve Gowan.
That's the guy?
Yep.
Oh, awesome.
And it's a family business.
Yeah. So my daughter, my middle daughter, works
Did
for
we
me.
meet her?
Hannah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Hannah works for me. She does our embroidery. And she's kind of the face when you walk in. She's right there.
She was super sweet.
Happy go lucky.
Yeah,
you
very
know?
nice. We did the ribbon cutting.
Yep.
And she was there with your wife as well.
Yep. My wife's a part of the business. She's more on the back end of the business, admin stuff. She works full time for Maine Health. And then over the summertime, you're going to see my youngest daughter in there. Now that school's out, she's getting ready to come in and do some work. So you'll see.
What grade is she going into?
I say little, right? She's going into high school.
Wow. So what are they interested in besides the business? Like,
my youngest daughter, she's into a little bit of everything. It's funny, right? I'm a sports guy. She's not, but she in middle school, she was a band kid. She's very creative. So she will, she'll jump in and she'll help me in the creative process with a lot of stuff too.
I bet you she will be great in design.
She is. She's huge into that stuff. So she'll sit down and like if I'm making a graphic for somebody, she'll be like, no, Dad, that's not it. No, you're wrong. Do this.
Yeah.
Does it
fun
still
to-
hurt the ego a little bit when she just turns the knife in?
It does.
Yeah,
it
but
does.
she's right. That's the worst part.
But
Does she do those-
dad of 3 daughters, though, I'm used to it.
Does
Yeah.
she do the slow eyelid close like my boys do to me? They go, Mom.
Yeah, with a little sigh,
I said,
Dad,
what?
you're
I
wrong.
really don't know. Explain it to me.
Soft eye roll.
Yeah,
soft eye roll.
No,
Oh,
it's
man.
not a soft eye roll. It's a hard eye roll. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but you mentioned that she's into the design. You have the other one who's involved with embroidery as well. Is this something where, obviously you want them to develop an interest in the business and organically take it over? Is that something where they've expressed interest in continuing?
Yeah. It's definitely like when I bought Mikini, that was kind of the vision, right? I'm, someday I want to retire.
Yeah.
No, you don't. You will be a person that does not retire.
Someday
long
I'll be
down
somewhere
the road, though.
where I'm in flip flops and board shorts.
You'd be like
that's the
Terry
goal.
Francona, still out there doing it. Yeah.
Listen, my phone will still be on. They can call me, but eventually that's kind of the succession plan, right? You want to be able to hand something over and let them kind of take it and run with it and turn it into something that they.
And there's so
envision.
much variety. The no day could be possibly like the one before, I would imagine, because you're getting different orders, different situations that you have to troubleshoot, and
It's fun because it's always something different every day.
yeah.
It's always something different every day. So it's never, you don't get stale in the process, right? So it's always something new, something different. And technology is changing too. So, AI is huge. So
Yeah.
in the creative
How
process,
does that involve the creative process of Mikini?
makes it quicker.
Does it?
Really?
Makes it quicker. AI is changing this business
Yeah.
every day.
Oh,
For the
interesting.
positive, you think?
Yes, for the most part, I think so. It makes the design process, what used to take 3 hours, now I can do in about 20 minutes with AI. So
Wow.
it's definitely helping.
A lot of my friends, I say a lot, but about 3 or 4 of them are designers, and how you can see what everybody else is doing on Instagram. All of their reels that they like, or the one that's currently out there is how someone. Like a layman like myself or Carrie would come in there and say, hey, to the graphics person, this is something I got on ChatGPT. Can you do it?
I
Right?
just did that to my graphic designer.
Did you?
I did.
Every day.
I know it,
I said,
right?
this is almost what I want, but let's talk about what I really want, because
Yeah.
she knows my brain, but I just didn't want her to have to start from scratch.
So if I'm somebody who knows that I'm dealing with a professional like you and I don't want to feel dumb, let's just put it that way, what are the steps to me designing something on AI and bringing it to you? Or what would you suggest?
I get it every day. Everybody walks in every day with their phone and they put it in my face and they're like, "Hey, this is what I want."
Right.
And it's still, it's a process. Like it's
a
I
good
can't just take
launching
it.
point.
It's a starting point, is what it is.
It's a tool.
Yep. And we're able to take those images and really get creative with them with our softwares that we use and really make them stand out, and really the detail with AI now is so crazy. That's the part where you really, as a designer, like, you've got to take your time and really focus in on. AI has been great, but it's the detail stuff. So that's the part that takes us a little bit longer now with that end of it. But it definitely makes things quicker.
Do you find the resolution comes out adaptable to bigger print? Because I was reading something the other day that said, just please make sure you understand that if you bring us an AI generated image, it might not be something that we can make too big. So
Yeah,
is that when you get into your
challenge there.
Adobe and kind of make sure that
yeah,
it's
that's where
correct?
we utilize the softwares that we use as designers, and
Yeah.
we kind of take that image that you've brought in and put your phone in my face with.
Right,
and
right.
we kind of fix the pixelation in it and do all that stuff.
Yeah.
So.
But you've also expanded the business where you say it's a one-stop shop, and you recently moved into a different facet of that business. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, so when I originally bought Mikini, I bought the apparel end of the business. They were still running their garage signs and designs out of the back of the building, where they do vehicle design, vehicle lettering, awards, banners, that type of stuff. And in March, I bought that end of the business as well. So now when you come into Mikini, it's all under one name, one brand, and we can do everything from letter up your company truck to
like a little wall plaque that
To a
says
little wall plaque.
best chamber member.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
we can do that.
Cool.
What are some of the projects that people might have seen around town that you've done?
Oh, what did we just do? We just did a company out of Alfred, Clearly Clean pressure washing. We just did a full decals on their work vans. We're getting ready to do Elite Roofing, his new trucks. There's a lot getting ready to come out that you're going to be able to see driving down the road.
I love to see well done company vehicles. Sometimes you see them and you go, oh, that's just, I can't even tell what you're doing.
too
But
busy.
Sometimes it's just done right and it looks good. Like your truck out there looks nice.
Yeah. I just did my truck, so
Yeah.
Are wraps still a thing?
Wraps are a thing. We don't do full vehicle wraps. Need a little bit more space for that, and it's pretty intricate. I find I like the wrap look. Don't get
Do
me
you?
wrong. If it's done right, but simple, clean vehicle decals and lettering, like that's where it's at. Like it's just clean, it's professional, it looks good.
We have a radio station vehicle which looks like the Mystery Machine from Scooby-Doo and whatever the kids in that 70s show were running around in. I can't get rid of it fast enough. Like I just because the wrap, I don't know if who did the wrap back in the day, might have been your predecessor, but I'm sure that person told our guys not to take it through a car wash because you can't take a wrap through a car wash, and these guys must have got a frequent flyer pass and gone ripping through 3 or 4 times.
You got to be real careful with the vehicle wraps.
So if
Can
someone
you unwrap a vehicle? This is my
You can.
not knowing
Yeah,
this.
yeah, you can. You
Okay.
can.
Yeah, you should do a whole series like Mikini Unwrapped, like unplugged.
There you go.
My daughter's trying to get me into the social media.
Oh,
end of
I'm
it to
sure
do
they're
some
like,
stuff.
let's do TikTok.
Oh goodness, yeah, they're trying.
That's where I draw the line.
No,
I'm
they're
like,
right.
I'm not
I
doing
really think
TikTok.
there's a place for that, especially as a young business owner who's like looking around of like, because everybody wants to be seen. And I
Yes.
think that's changed a lot really in the last 10 years, whether it's, short form social media. So, you need all different types of it.
It's just use every avenue to keep your name out there so everybody remembers it, right? That's what social media is. And again, like that's the benefit of having my older daughters.
Yeah, definitely.
They're always doing TikTok dances in the kitchen and doing all that stuff, right?
That's
So
great, yeah.
they'll be my social media managers.
good.
I don't know if you necessarily want me doing it.
No.
Yeah,
no. I wish I could have someone else do it.
Dad talk.
Yeah. Nobody wants that.
No. Well, Jeff Shane, obviously a very successful businessman in town, has been for decades, generations. One of his children runs all of the social media too, and I can slowly see that form of the business developing. And he's done an incredible. He's been a guest on our show too.
Yeah.
Actually, they both have.
Yeah, they all came
Yeah.
in, the whole crew, but his son's
Yeah.
doing a really good job. I can always tell when he posts something
Yeah.
because
That's definitely not
it just,
Jeff.
It has, it has his vibe,
Yeah.
which is great, but very professional, but fun, but playful.
Yes.
You want people to interact. You don't want people to just scroll. So
Right. You want to be noticed. You want to be seen, but you want to keep it light.
Yeah.
You're also, Chris from Mikini is our guest here this morning on York County Conversations, which, by the way, if you're just jumping in halfway, you can find as a podcast. Just subscribe to York County Conversations on Spotify, on Apple. To your point, Chris, you got to be everywhere. That's what we are. So it's on demand. Of course, you're listening to it live on a Sunday morning. But, you're a person, you said you were raised in Alfred. You grew up, or you live in the house that you grew up in. So you bleed this area, this York County area.
I do.
How have you seen Sanford change in the last 20 years?
Growth wise, it's crazy from, when I was a kid, strolling through town and seeing it now, all the different businesses that have come and gone, and it's the population's booming.
Right.
Like, we're always building houses around town. Contractors are always slammed when they come through the doors. They're always telling me how busy they are. So
Well, that's great.
it's definitely cool to see the growth of Sanford and York County.
Yeah.
And, you mentioned buying and selling all different types of businesses, yet still having time to coach. And baseball is your passion. What ignited softball? But when you were a kid,
When I was a kid, I was a baseball guy.
yeah. What got you into baseball?
My family, like my dad was a baseball guy. He was a Red Sox.
I was going to say,
he's
he was
a
Red Sox in the
through and
80s
through,
and
right?
early 90s.
He always watching Nesson, so it was, the Sox were always on TV, and then just growing up, always being a sports kid. I played sports,
Who's your most random favorite Boston Red Sox player?
My most random favorite Boston, growing up, like with my dad and stuff, we were always like Wade Boggs. Like, I'm going old school here, right? So
Yeah.
Wade Boggs.
Remember the year that Wade Boggs decided he was going to hit the long ball? It was just 1 year out of his whole career. He was
Just the one.
yeah. He was like, I'm going to hit 30 home runs this year. I don't know if he did it, but like the rest of them, he hit like 8. I don't know what was in his brain that year.
One good power season out of him.
Yeah, Red Sox, man. That's great. But you said you got into softball too.
Yeah, so it's funny, right? So dad of 3 daughters. So my daughters, my oldest was a big in athletics, and she was a softball player. So traveling around, watching her, she did all the travel sports and all that stuff. And I started coaching, and then 5 years ago, I got an offer to coach at Southern Maine Community College, and took that over. And that's been so much fun.
How far do you guys have to travel for games?
We go. We're all over New England.
Yeah.
We travel all over New England. We're Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New Hampshire. Obviously, we're here in Maine. We play
Is it
most of
mostly
them.
weekends or weekdays
No,
too?
no. We travel. We travel once we're in season. We travel all over.
Wow.
It doesn't matter.
How did we snag you for this interview? Where do you have to
I
be
know.
next? Yeah.
I got to be back to work.
Yeah.
That's where I got to be.
Yeah.
I'm sure my daughter's probably. I got 7 text messages with questions. Like, what are you doing right now? But yeah, no. It's the college gig is fun. We won our first national title as a college
No way.
college softball program
Wow.
2 years ago, which was really
That's
cool.
great.
Yeah, we made it all the way to the Small College World Series in Du Bois, Pennsylvania, and won a national title, which was really cool.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Those are those once in a lifetime experiences because you're only in college for 4 years if you're going traditional route. You know?
2 years
So,
at SM.
yeah, I was gonna say they're 2 years. Yeah.
So you catch those young women at a very, very interesting time in their life. Can you expand on how you manage a game with all those different personalities?
It's a lot of training from being a dad of 3 daughters, right? But dad of 3 daughters, been married 25 years. Even the dog in my house is female, so I don't win anywhere. So a lot of training over the years, right?
That's awesome.
But it's fun. Like it's there's definite personalities, but as you manage them the best you can, and you keep it light, you keep it fun, and everybody has a good time.
Because it's not like a staff that's going to be there for 10 years. You have to, the turnover is different every year.
We graduate a class every year. We bring in 12 every year. So it's definitely, it's new faces. And again, like it's kind of like being self-employed, right? I get a new challenge every day. And then every year here, I get that new challenge because I get a new group of athletes that come in every year. So it's definitely, you got to build it.
Are they mostly from Maine, New Hampshire, or is it, or
it's,
at least
a mix.
mostly New
It's
England?
a mix.
Or?
We're a pretty competitive program, so we get kids that come from all over. We've got a young lady on our roster that's here from Sydney, Australia.
Wow.
We got a lot of kids here from Canada, Alberta. They come from all over. We've had kids on the roster from Florida, Arizona. We got one coming in from Illinois this year.
That's
wild.
fun.
So they come from all over. But we do have quite a few Maine kids.
Sure.
So people who listen to this show, a lot of them are business owners, and they can certainly vouch for, the ebb and flow that goes with being a business owner. But say someone's been in their vocation for 20, 25 years, and because you've had it both ways. You've worked for someone for a long time, and you've been your own boss. A lot of times people don't make that leap for different reasons, to be self-employed. A, what got you over the hump of that? And B, if someone has been working for someone else for a long time, what are some of the benefits and pitfalls of working for yourself?
Well, I mean, for starters, getting into it, right? It's follow your passions. Follow your passions. Find something that excites you and go at it 100%. Go at it 100%. Like if you think that this is an avenue for you, go do it. You're going to hate yourself if you don't try it, And then as far as, just being in the business, find new challenges every day, adapt, look at like, especially for us in the business that we're in, new technologies come out all the time. Like find new things that you can get creative with and do those things.
Yeah. Keep probably some element of like continuing education type of things too, and learning what's out there, and
especially being self-employed, like you've got to learn every day,
right?
Or you're going to be doing the same old thing, especially when you're in an avenue like we're in. You're essentially we're a branding and marketing company, right? So you can't just do the same stale old thing every day and offer the same thing, right? You got to be creative every day, and that's a challenge in and of itself.
Is there one area that you wish you could dedicate a little bit more time into exploring or learning about that you just haven't gotten to yet?
We touched on it earlier. We've been, for us, it's not necessarily an area in the business. It's expanding what we're doing and being into that, into that creative space all the time. But it's fun. Like we have a blast doing it.
You mentioned AI, and our human brains only go so far. And so when we had the technology we had in 1898, we thought that's as far as we could go. And then all of a sudden the Industrial Revolution and all of that, and the car comes around, and all of a sudden all our information's in our phone. And now it's AI, where it's like, well, this is it. This is as far as we can go. But for someone who is as creative as you, how do you see AI working 10 years down the road? Or is there something else that's coming down?
I mean, AI changes, like it's still new to us, right? It's not something that's been around for
it's like flip phone
forever.
AI.
Yeah. And it's changing and adapting every day differently. There's new things that come out and new updates that come out, but AI, and again, AI is great, but you're always going to need when you're in design, you're going to need that human touch.
Yeah.
It's great, and it's all in how you talk to AI and do those things, but you're still going to need, that human touch. AI is not the end all be all.
How would you recommend talking to AI? I struggle with that.
You got to be very detailed and know exactly what you want, or you're going to just
So you can't just copy and paste an email and say clean up.
You can,
Yeah.
but you're going to get the same old thing.
Yeah, you're not going to get very clean.
It's all in your verbiage and how you talk to it. I'm not giving away all my trade secrets.
Right.
Come on now.
Do you at least do you congratulate your AI when it does well?
I congratulate myself when I don't throw my phone because I do the same thing that you do, and I'm trying to get it to do something and it won't listen to me.
I'm like, July 3rd is not a Friday. Can we remove that? It ends up on a Tuesday. It's just, I was having that same thought yesterday because we were doing a graphic for an upcoming thing that we have, and I'm like, nope, that needs to go over here. And then it's almost like dealing with a child where you can't just yell at the child, right? So you got to find a way to not put your fist in the computer and say, hey, straighten out.
We have our struggles with that, and again, like it's because it's so new.
Yeah.
And as a business, we're learning it every day, and we're trying to research it and do our end of it to make sure that we're getting the best out of that avenue of our business. So
yeah. Do you have I was thinking about 3D printing. Do you do anything with the 3D printers with your plaques or anything,
we don't yet, but it's something that we're looking at.
What's a 3D printer?
Exactly what it sounds like.
You mean like
in 3D?
Like it prints out with the plastic and goes. You say, build me a
birdhouse.
Yeah, and
Really?
you put in a picture of a birdhouse, and it'll start
See,
build it for
3D
you.
to me is like when I put into my eyes in a ViewMaster and I click down.
yeah.
Is that the same thing?
It kind of comes to life right in front of you.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yep.
but it's real and touched, and you can use it. It's
my version of AI.
People use it for like adaptive tools and stuff, and you can make anything. Yep. I just saw something on Instagram yesterday that said that some student somewhere, 12 years old, was using a 3D printer to print dentures for older adults that couldn't afford them. And so somehow he was getting, I don't know if he was working with the dentist to get the scans, but he was able to do 3D printing of their dentures because they couldn't afford to buy the dentures. I thought it was
it's amazing.
Thing.
It's amazing with the different technologies that are coming out
Yeah.
now. For us, like the next avenue that I think we're kind of getting into is laser engraving. That's where we're kind of working on expansion on now.
What is laser engraving?
It's a machine that you have, and it's kind of I can take a logo and I can laser engrave it onto a
like
coffee mug,
acrylic or
glass or
acrylic,
something. Yeah.
things like that. That's the avenue that we're looking at in expanding our services now.
Yeah.
And where can people find you?
1458 Main Street, Suite B, right by the traffic circle.
Yeah. Well, that's
And do
cool.
you have Facebook and Instagram, right?
Facebook, my daughter is working on the Instagram
On the
account
Instagram.
now.
Okay, I was going to say.
We'll give you
It's
a follow.
it's coming.
I knew there
It's
was
coming.
one. I knew there was
Yeah,
one.
it's coming. I'm sure
Yeah.
I'll be on
Don't give her-
TikTok. I'm sure I'll be on TikTok after this now
Dude,
too.
you're already on TikTok,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
You just
Probably don't
know it.
even know.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm
Oh
sure.
gosh.
Yeah. Well, that's excellent. Any other closing thoughts or words?
No, I'm just glad that we got to meet you, and congratulations on the new business. And we're excited to be able to come down and put in some orders soon. I'm sure a lot of businesses are going to be coming through the door. Sounds like they already are. So
They
you're
are.
off to a good start.
Yeah. No. Thank you guys for having me on today.
You've been listening to York County Conversations. For more information about this episode, to be on the show, or become a member of the Chamber, reach out to sanfordchamber.org. That's sanfordchamber.org.